And so I would love to hear a little bit more about your story and what brought you to this place in your life so that we get a little bit more of an insight or inside view of Paul.
Right. Well, I guess I can start. I went to college for aviation technology, got my licenses, and after graduating, got the credentials to be an instructor. So that was my job for 3 years. Best job I ever had. You know, your
Wow.
office is a few thousand feet up in the air every day, and you're just teaching, learning with other students. It was a blast. So I did that for a few years, gained enough experience and credentials to move on. And it was, excuse me, it was actually 2 days before my interview with the airlines. I was run over by a drunk driver. So I had a laundry list of injuries.
Wow.
I was in the ICU for 101 days as I kind of rebuilt my strength, but I lost the use of my arms and legs. And so every day, sort of since then, has just been trying to relearn how I'm going to live my life. You know, it's a different lifestyle, and learn how I'm going to do things I used to do. Have to do them a totally different way, and just grow and learn and adapt. And
Yeah.
so that was 5 years ago. And here we are today. Started small, just, everyday tasks. How am I going to get up and, shower, have breakfast? I have finished my postgraduate certificate now and working part time. So it's
Wow.
constantly growing.
My question to you would be what was your anchor in the midst of having to redirect or readapt and trying to figure out what life is now? 101 days in ICU. I can imagine what was going through your mind, but what was your anchor that really got you through that? That's one question I have for you. And then a follow up question I have would be, what is your anchor now? Is it the same or is it different?
I would say overall it is the same because it'd be my family. They're unbelievable. They were there every day, from first in the hospital to today. I even have family in the building that are participating in the event, which is great.
So,
Um, so that's really what I was able to lean on to get me through.
okay. I see
And
that. Yeah.
and they, like I said, never left my side. Um, and if I think of more of a mindset and what I sort of had to do to overcome, there's a few things. Definitely, it was a slow process.
Yeah.
Definitely have to take your time and learn. But biggest thing for me, and this sounds cliche, I know for most people, but focusing on what you can control,
Yeah.
that's really a playbook for me.
Yeah.
I was a really independent person, and not always looking for help. And obviously, in a situation like mine, that's not even a possibility.
Yeah.
And I find you can just spin out so fast with your mind going on things that you're not going to be able to change, or scenarios that aren't going to happen.
Yeah.
Um, and it's really a waste of energy,
I love
to
that.
be honest.
I
And
love that. Can I stick a pin right there? Can I interrupt you for a
of
second?
course, of
I
course.
love that you said that because I think that sometimes there's this thought that we can control certain things. Like we tell ourselves that, like I have to be in control of certain things that really are out of our control. Do you feel like that was your family's encouragement or was that just your mindset or was that something that you had to learn to grow into? Because I know a lot of the young people that are here today have even verbalized that it's hard to ask for help. It's hard to know what you can't control. I thought I did have it. I believed I could do it, and then it was like, oh, it became something it was out of my control. How did you get to that point in that mindset? Because I think that that's a game changer.
Absolutely. And it's, helping the people around you for sure. I had so many positive people around me that, there's no doubts. There was, yeah, we'll get there. It's may take a while, but
Okay.
work hard and you'll get there. But it was also definitely a learning process of,
Okay.
spending the energy on things within your control and focusing on that to maximize it as opposed to wasting time and energy on, um, like I said, just letting your mind spin out and lose focus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
Mm-hmm.
really setting yourself up for success and keeping your mindset on, where you want to be and what you want to do, and the steps it takes one at a time. It doesn't all happen at once. So
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of that. Focus on the little things and the small next steps that end up being big steps
Yeah.
or big accomplishments in the end.
And that gem of wisdom, only really pour out your energy on the things that you actually can impact or change or control. I think that's a game changer for sure. Would you say that today that's your focus or your anchor?
Yeah, absolutely. Just because, um, it's in my situation, things don't always happen in big steps, and
Yeah.
it takes time and everything like that. So it's something I have to really, ground myself in, I'd say, every day. And
Good.
that, along with, being adaptable, and, I tell people that it's, sort of obvious,
Yeah.
I have to figure things out, but it was more, for me, it's more about adaptable mindset,
Mhm.
figure out what I was going to do, because I had my career
Right.
mapped out. I knew the steps, how long I was going to do each job, and it was happening
Wow.
until, you literally get hit by a truck, and then you have to rethink. And when I say adaptable mindset, I guess, what I mean is just being open to new opportunities and saying yes to things you never thought you would do.
Right.
Um, Going out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
not always being comfortable, but learning by pushing yourself forward, things like that.
I love that.
So it's not always, physical adaptability, but kind of mental adaptability, if that makes sense.
I know we talked about, focus and on the things that you can and put your energies in to the things that you can control. What do you say to someone who's not there yet, who's at the point of like, I'm trying, but I'm not sure how to even build this mindset? What is the first thing? I think one thing I will say is I love the fact that you said your family. I want to go back to that, your squad, the people that were in your ear expressing themselves. But what would you say to that person that's um, struggling to get there, struggling to get that mindset?
Hmm. Well, definitely adding on to that sort of piece by piece, step by step kind of mindset is, I
Mm-hmm.
would say that after, the accident, I didn't have an end goal anymore. Like, I knew exactly where I wanted to be, and
Right.
afterwards, I had no idea. But it was more about just pushing forward and just finding something, even if
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know where it was going, challenging myself to, try new things and get more comfortable as I went. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily, if you have an end goal and you want to work for it, that's fantastic. That's great. But if you don't, it's easy to sort of lose focus and not know where you want to go. But, something I had to force myself to do is just keep going, keep trying,
Yeah.
failing
Yes.
times, and just, that wasn't for me. Let me try something else,
You,
for sure. And even you may have a goal and that goes off the rails.
right.
Things don't always work out how you want it to be.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too, is, being ready to take risks and
Yeah.
be ready when things don't always work out the way you thought they would.
Yeah, and really taking the lesson from that, because I think that sometimes when they don't work out the way we want them to, we think I'm the failure, but like maybe it didn't work out because that wasn't supposed to be what you were supposed to be doing, or maybe that didn't work out because of bad timing or whatever the reason. But be able to take the lesson that you learned from that and keep going, right? I think that sometimes
Absolutely.
we need to, I always say, eat the meat and spit out the bones, take the good parts and leave the bad parts out the way. What would you say in regards to, I love the fact that you said, you've been part of the Pinball Clemens Foundation family. What would you say is that family aspect? What would you say is that element that the Pinball Clemens Foundation and everyone that's involved in that family that we bring? What would you say is that element? Because I felt that as well many times. I feel that many times. Anytime I connect with anyone from the foundation, I mean, I met you just recently, and I feel like I've known you forever. What is that element that we bring that says your family?
Well, really, I don't know. You said it quite well, but yeah, I would say the community within, the foundation, everyone here is just open, and everyone has someone to lean on. That's what I feel like. There's no one's alone here. You always have someone you could call or talk to or ask advice. I know I do. I hope all the students do. Um, and just a lack of judgment and an openness and a desire to get better, to find success. That's sort of the biggest things I notice.
I love that. And I concur. I concur. I've texted people outside work hours and they've texted me back and just been helpful, or it's just always there. You're very right with that. I love the fact that you can depend on someone, and Pinball Clemens Foundation definitely just develops that from the very jump, that you come into the family, you can depend on them. They're going to be there. I want to say thank you, Paul. You are an amazing individual. I really love you as a human being, and I want to say thank you so much for taking this time with us. You have dropped gems. So the walkaways, just in case no one was listening, is take it day by day. Be ready to adapt. Shift your mindset. Being able to see the glass half full, not half empty, and as well, make sure that you got your squad. Pinball Clemens Foundation is your squad, and make sure that you understand that you've got people that you can lean on. I love that. All of those things. We thank you so much that you're here with us, that you're doing such an amazing job, Paul. And just thanks for the conversation. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sherry, and I hope everyone has a great day.